1. Strait of Hormuz. Geographic location. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow sea passage between Iran and Oman. It connects the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea, allowing ships to move from oil-rich Gulf countries to global markets. Narrow but critical. At its narrowest point, the strait is only about 33 kilometers, 20 miles wide, making it one of the most important and sensitive maritime choke points in the world. Massive oil flow. Around 20% of the world's oil supply passes through the strait every day. Key trade route. It carries roughly 1/5 of global oil and gas shipments, making it essential for global energy security. Global impact. Any disruption can quickly affect fuel prices, transportation, and economies worldwide. Strategic hotspot. The strait lies at the center of tensions involving Iran, the United States, and Gulf countries. Iran's influence. Iran borders the strait and has repeatedly threatened to restrict or block it during conflicts. Global consequences. Even the risk of conflict can cause oil prices to rise and disrupt global markets. Military risks. The area is vulnerable to naval conflicts, missile or drone attacks, sea mines targeting ships. Economic shock. Closing the strait, even temporarily, could reduce global oil supply, increase fuel prices sharply, disrupt international trade, global dependence. Many countries, especially in Asia, rely heavily on oil passing through this route. The Strait of Hormuz is often called the world's most important oil choke point because so much energy trade depends on it. It acts as a gateway between the Middle East and the global economy, meaning events there can influence the entire world. The Strait of Hormuz is a small but extremely powerful location. It connects major oil-producing regions to the rest of the world, carries a huge share of global energy, and sits at the center of geopolitical tensions. Because of this, even small disruptions can have massive global consequences. 2. Strait of Malacca. Location. The Strait of Malacca lies between Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore, forming a narrow waterway that connects the Indian Ocean to the South China Sea. Strategic position. It acts as a major shortcut between Europe, the Middle East, and East Asia, making global trade faster and more efficient. Heavy traffic. The Strait of Malacca is one of the busiest shipping routes on Earth, with tens of thousands of vessels passing through every year. Global trade route. It is a key pathway for transporting oil and gas, manufactured goods, raw materials. Narrow passage. At some points, the strait is only about 2.8 kilometers, 1.7 miles wide, which increases congestion and risk. Oil transport hub. A large portion of global oil shipments passes through the strait, especially from the Middle East to East Asia. Key for Asia, countries like China, Japan, and South Korea rely heavily on this route for their energy supplies. Economic impact. Any disruption could affect global fuel prices and supply chains. Congestion. Heavy traffic increases the risk of ship collisions and accidents. Piracy. The strait has historically been a hotspot for piracy, though security has improved in recent years. Geopolitical sensitivity. Its importance makes it a strategic point in regional and global politics. Environmental risks. Oil spills or accidents could have serious environmental consequences due to the narrow and busy waters. The Strait of Malacca is often considered one of the most important maritime choke points in the world. It supports global trade by linking major economic regions and enabling faster shipping routes. The Strait of Malacca is a narrow but extremely important waterway. It connects major oceans, carries a huge share of global trade, and is essential for delivering oil to East Asia. Because of its size and importance, it remains both a vital and vulnerable part of the global economy. 3. Suez Canal. The Suez Canal is an artificial waterway in Egypt that connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. Man-made wonder, it was completed in 1869 and is one of the most important engineering projects in modern history. No locks needed. Unlike many canals, ships can pass through directly because both seas are at roughly the same level. Major shortcut. The canal shortens the sea journey between Europe and Asia by about 7,000 kilometers, 4,300 miles. Time and cost savings. Ships avoid sailing around Africa, saving time up to 10 to 15 days. Fuel costs, shipping expenses, heavy traffic, Around 10 to 12% of global trade passes through the canal each year. Key route. It is a crucial path for transporting oil and natural gas, consumer goods, industrial materials, global impact. Disruptions can affect supply chains, fuel prices, and delivery times worldwide. Narrow channel. Parts of the canal are narrow, making navigation challenging for large ships. High dependence. Many countries rely heavily on this route, making it a critical choke point. In 2021, the massive container ship Ever Given became stuck in the canal. This event, known as the Suez Canal blockage, blocked traffic for nearly a week. Global effects. Hundreds of ships were delayed, supply chains were disrupted worldwide. Trade losses reached billions of dollars. It showed how one hadith incident could impact the entire global economy. The Suez Canal is one of the world's most important trade routes. It connects major economic regions and keeps global commerce moving efficiently. The Suez Canal is a vital shortcut linking Europe and Asia. It saves time, reduces costs, and supports global trade. But the Ever Given blockage proved how fragile and essential this route really is. 4. Panama Canal. The Panama Canal is an artificial waterway in Panama that connects the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Engineering achievement. Opened in 1914, it is considered one of the greatest engineering projects in history. Lock system. Unlike the Suez Canal, it uses a system of locks to lift ships up to Gatun Lake and then lower them back down. Major shortcut. The canal allows ships to avoid sailing around South America, saving thousands of kilometers and significant travel time. US-Asia trade. It is especially critical for trade between the United States East Asia high traffic route. Thousands of ships pass through the canal each year, carrying goods, fuel, and raw materials. Global supply chains. The canal plays a key role in moving oil and gas, consumer goods, agricultural products, economic impact. Faster shipping means lower costs and more efficient global trade. Drought issues. The canal depends on fresh water from nearby lakes to operate its lock system. Reduced water levels. In recent years, droughts have lowered water levels, causing fewer ships allowed per day, weight limits on vessels, delays in global shipping. Climate change impact. Changing weather patterns are making these droughts more frequent and severe. Capacity limits. Unlike open sea routes, the canal can only handle a limited number of ships daily. Global effects. Any slowdown can disrupt supply chains, increase shipping costs, delay deliveries worldwide. The Panama Canal is one of the most important trade routes in the world, connecting two major oceans and supporting global commerce. It is especially vital for linking North America with Asia and Latin America. The Panama Canal is a crucial shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. It plays a major role in global trade, especially between the US and Asia, but is increasingly affected by drought, showing how environmental factors can impact the world economy. 5. Bab el-Mandeb Strait. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait lies between Yemen on the Arabian Peninsula and Djibouti/Eritrea in East Africa. Meaning of the name, Bab el-Mandeb means Gate of Tears, reflecting its dangerous navigation conditions and historical risks. Geographic role. It connects the Gulf of Aden to the Red Sea, acting as a key entry point toward the Suez Canal. Strategic gateway. It is a vital route linking Europe, the Middle East, Asia heavy shipping traffic. A large portion of global trade passes through this narrow strait, including oil, gas, and goods. Energy flow. Significant volumes of oil and liquefied natural gas, LNG, move through this route daily. Regional conflict. Ongoing instability in Yemen increases risks for ships passing through the strait. Military tensions. The area is strategically important, with global and regional powers closely monitoring it. Attacks on shipping. There have been incidents involving missiles and drones, attacks on cargo vessels, threats to commercial shipping. Piracy history. The nearby waters, especially off Somalia, have been known for piracy. Improved security. International naval patrols have reduced piracy, but risks still exist. Vulnerable route. The narrow passage makes ships easier targets compared to open ocean routes. Narrow passage, its limited width makes it a natural choke point. High dependence. Many countries rely on it for trade and energy transport. Global impact. Any disruption could delay shipments, raise oil prices, affect global supply chains. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait is one of the world's most critical maritime choke points, connecting key trade routes between continents. It plays a major role in keeping global trade flowing between Europe and Asia. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait is a narrow but essential gateway linking the Red Sea to global trade routes. Its importance for shipping and energy makes it vital, but ongoing conflict and piracy risks make it one of the most sensitive and dangerous maritime passages in the world. 6. Turkish Straits, Bosporus and Dardanelles. The Turkish Straits consist of two main waterways. Bosporus-Dardanelles location. They are located in Turkey and connect the Black Sea to the Mediterranean Sea via the Sea of Marmara. Natural waterways. Unlike canals, these are natural straits with strong currents and narrow passages. Only maritime access. The Turkish Straits provide the only sea route for countries bordering the Black Sea, like Ukraine and Russia, to reach global markets. Global trade link. They connect Eastern Europe and parts of Asia to international shipping routes. Heavy traffic. Thousands of ships pass through every year, including cargo vessels, oil tankers, and grain carriers. Critical for food supply. The straits are essential for exporting grain from Ukraine, Russia. Global impact. These exports are vital for food security in regions like Africa and the Middle East. Disruptions matter. Any blockage or restriction can increase global food prices, cause shortages in importing countries. Controlled by Turkey. Turkey has authority over the straits under international agreements, like the Montreux Convention. Military restrictions. Turkey can regulate military ship access, especially during conflicts. Strategic power. This gives Turkey significant influence over regional and global maritime movement. Narrow and busy. The Bosporus especially is very narrow and passes through Istanbul, making navigation complex. Accident risk. High traffic increases the risk of collisions and environmental damage. Geopolitical tensions. Conflicts involving Black Sea countries can directly affect traffic through the straits. The Turkish Straits are one of the most important choke points in the world for both trade and geopolitics. They are especially critical for energy transport and global food supply chains. The Turkish Straits are a vital gateway between the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. Controlled by Turkey, they are essential for trade, especially grain exports from Ukraine and Russia, and play a key role in global food security and geopolitics. 7. Strait of Gibraltar. The strait lies between Spain in Europe and Morocco in North Africa. Natural boundary. It forms a natural border between two continents, Europe and Africa. Narrow passage. At its narrowest point, it is about 14 kilometers, 8.7 miles, wide. Key link. The Strait of Gibraltar connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea. Water flow. Atlantic water flows into the Mediterranean, helping regulate its salinity and ecosystem. Gateway role. It is the only natural sea entrance to the Mediterranean from the Atlantic. Vital shipping route. The strait is a major pathway for ships traveling between Europe and Asia, between Europe and Africa, between the Atlantic and Mediterranean regions, Europe-bound trade. Many goods heading to European ports pass through this route. Heavy traffic. Thousands of vessels use the strait each year, including cargo ships, oil tankers, passenger vessels. Geopolitical significance. Its location makes it strategically important for both trade and military movement. Close monitoring. The strait is closely monitored by European and international authorities. Migration routes. It is also a crossing point for migration between Africa and Europe. Congestion. High traffic increases the risk of collisions and delays. Environmental concerns. Oil spills or accidents could impact marine ecosystems. Weather conditions. Strong currents and winds can make navigation challenging. The Strait of Gibraltar is one of the most important maritime choke points in the world. It plays a key role in connecting global trade routes and supporting Europe's economy. The Strait of Gibraltar is a narrow but vital passage linking the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. Positioned between Spain and Morocco, it is essential for Europe-bound trade and global shipping, making it one of the most strategic waterways in the world. 8. Danish Straits. The Danish Straits are a group of narrow waterways that include Great Belt, Little Belt location. They are located in Denmark, between Denmark and Sweden. Geographic role. These straits connect the Baltic Sea to the North Sea, allowing ships from Northern and Eastern Europe to access the Atlantic Ocean. Key maritime route. The Danish Straits are the only sea passage for countries around the Baltic Sea to reach global markets. European trade hub. They are essential for trade involving Germany, Poland, Sweden, Baltic states heavy traffic. Thousands of vessels pass through annually, carrying goods, raw materials, and energy supplies. Russian oil exports. A significant amount of oil exported from Russia passes through these straits. Energy flow to Europe. The route is important for supplying energy resources to European markets. Strategic importance. Any disruption could impact energy prices and supply across the region. Controlled by Denmark. Denmark has authority over these waterways and ensures safe navigation. International access. Ships from all nations can pass through under international maritime law. Monitoring and safety. The straits are closely monitored due to heavy traffic and strategic importance. Narrow channels. Some parts are narrow and shallow, making navigation difficult for large ships. Environmental risks. Oil spills or accidents could harm the sensitive Baltic Sea ecosystem. Geopolitical sensitivity. Due to their importance for Russian exports and European trade, the straits are strategically important. The Danish Straits are a critical choke point for Northern Europe, linking the Baltic region to global shipping routes. They play a major role in both trade and energy security. The Danish Straits are a vital maritime gateway connecting the Baltic Sea to the North Sea. Controlled by Denmark, they are essential for European trade and Russian oil exports, making them one of the most important shipping routes in Northern Europe. 9. Cape of Good Hope. The Cape of Good Hope lies at the southern tip of South Africa, where the Atlantic and Indian Oceans meet. Famous landmark. It is one of the most well-known maritime landmarks in the world and has been important for sailors for centuries. Not a strait. Unlike narrow choke points, it is an open ocean route, but still plays a crucial role in global shipping. Fallback route. The Cape of Good Hope is used as an alternative route when key passages like the Suez Canal are blocked or unsafe. Historic trade path. Before the Suez Canal was built, it was the main sea route between Europe and Asia. Global connection. It links major trade routes between Europe, Asia, the Americas' longer journeys. Ships traveling around the Cape must cover thousands of extra kilometers compared to using the Suez Canal. Increased costs. This leads to higher fuel consumption, longer delivery times, increased shipping costs, delays. Supply chains can slow down significantly when ships are forced to reroute. Rough seas. The area is known for strong winds, powerful waves, and unpredictable weather. Dangerous waters. Historically, many ships were lost in this region due to difficult conditions. Modern navigation. Technology has improved safety, but challenges still exist. Strategic backup. The Cape remains important as a backup route for global trade. Global dependence. Events like canal blockages or conflicts can quickly increase traffic around the Cape. Economic influence. Changes in shipping routes here can affect global prices and delivery times. The Cape of Good Hope is not a narrow choke point, but it is a critical alternative route for global shipping. When major canals are unavailable, ships must travel around it, adding time, cost, and risk, but keeping global trade moving. 10. English Channel. The English Channel lies between the United Kingdom and France, connecting the Atlantic Ocean to the North Sea. Narrowest point. At the Strait of Dover, it is only about 34 kilometers, 21 miles wide. Historic importance. It has played a key role in European history, trade, and defense for centuries. Heavy traffic. The English Channel is one of the busiest shipping routes in the world, with hundreds of ships passing through daily. Types of vessels. Cargo ships, oil tankers, ferries, fishing boats. Global trade. Link. It connects major ports in Northern Europe with global shipping routes. European trade hub. The channel is essential for moving goods between the UK and mainland Europe, Northern Europe, and the rest of the world. Energy transport. It is used for transporting oil, gas, and other energy resources. Supply chains. Many supply chains depend on fast and reliable movement through this route. Congestion. High traffic increases the risk of collisions and delays. Weather conditions. Fog, strong currents, and storms can make navigation difficult. Environmental concerns. Heavy use raises the risk of pollution and maritime accidents. Channel Tunnel. Beneath the seabed lies the Channel Tunnel, linking the UK and France by rail. Fast transport. It allows quick movement of passengers and goods between the two countries. The English Channel is a critical gateway for European trade, connecting major economies and supporting international shipping. It plays a key role in both economic activity and energy distribution. The English Channel is a narrow but extremely busy waterway between the UK and France. It is essential for European trade and energy transport, making it one of the most important shipping lanes in the world.